This is Suzanne Wagner. Thank you so much for joining me. We're doing the Numerology and Astrology for July 22nd, 2021. If you add all those numbers together, you get the number 16. And if you add the 1 and the 6 together, you get one of my favorite numbers, the number 7. The number 7 is about the maps that help and support subtle energy. It's the maps or boundaries or structures that help us create things like architecture and design and houses and buildings and cities and laws. So the number 7 is about boundaries, and they are not just important, but essential to finding and defining where we stand in this moment. Many things in life shape us into who we presently are. Many use their personal upsets and wounding as markers to limit and suppress our old impulses. But that does not mean there is actually a clear boundary in our psyche. While we can suppress parts within, suppression will not last forever. When we are weak and not fully paying attention, those tendencies can come roaring out of the dark corners where they have been lying in wait. Boundaries, the number 7, should hold up under moral speculation and spiritual attendance. The boundaries that should define us need to be strong and have teeth and backbone. Opinions have neither. Personally, I have learned that while I have to listen to the opinions of those who have an agenda to twist goodness into overly evil things, I do not need to take in their position, especially if it is morally and ethically weak. Each of us have to recognize that while we do not know everything, we cannot deny when something just feels wrong and seems to want to corrupt the integrity and impeccability that we have spent decades building inside our core. A spiritual weak person will use jargon and passages that others twist into positions that validate what they wish to be true, whereas a stronger person holds universal truths that are anchored into the core of their being and will not falter in the face of opinion. Astrology today. The moon in Capricorn reminds us to stay on the practical side of life. Moderation works for many things, and noticing where we need more self-determination is helpful. Thursday, Venus opposes Jupiter. Overcommitting can be a real problem. Do not overindulge into extremes. You may regret it. The sun wants to bring in the abundance of the season, and expectations are high as we learn that overstating will never give us the respect we desire, and placing too much value on objects will also not help us find fulfillment. Something is scratching just below the surface of our awareness. Routines seem not to satisfy, and there is a feeling of discontent growing. Sometimes our shadow keeps trying to get our attention. The natives within our shadow are restless, and yet there is a feeling of uncertainty mounting. While it is difficult to listen to those voices we have learned to suppress, there is value in learning to take heed to warnings that are arising from those mysterious depths. Best to make some minor changes now, when the bigger moves will not be so intense or hard. Pluto and Mars will quincux, making many feel strained and upset. Anger is close to the surface, and there will be challenges to authority. Integration comes from a deeper understanding of a situation. That understanding is being sought, but not yet clarified. The sun moves into Leo, making us want what is warmer and more playful. Our unique individuality has a desire for expression. There is a feeling of wanting to shine, stand out, and bring a new vision into the mix. Just don't carry this feeling of specialness too far. Vanity is never attractive. My quote for today: arrogance leads us down the pathway to disaster. Fear motivates us to act in ways that cause suffering. Anger is the response to uncertainty and change. Grief follows all three of these emotions towards chaos. And my blog for today. As we enter into the time of the lion, I reflect on my quest to find my personal Zion. The power of the sun calls to our awakened parts. It wants us to see ourselves in our counterparts. We all feel emotions deep inside. We all have places where something still hides. In this time of the powerful sun, take some time to express and run. Run in the fields of flowers that pass by. Run towards the rainbows where the storms meet the sky. Look to the peace that rises up within and know that with every dawn we can begin again. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day.